Yeah. East Coast with the gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang. Global with the gang, gang. You know we don't play gang. East Coast with the gang, gang. West Coast with the gang. Global with the gang. You know we don't play gang. East Coast with the gang. West Coast with the gang. Global with the gang. You know we don't play gang. East Coast with the gang. West Coast with the gang. Global with the gang. You know.
Yeah, whoa, East Coast with that gang gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast go ahead, stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, we famed up, got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa.
East Coast with the gang. West Coast with the gang. Global with the gang.
What's going on, fam? Welcome to episode 855. Happy Saturday, Beaches. Welcome, Beaches. The big 4-0. Happy birthday, biatch. Happy burps. Happy. Lori, Harry, what up? Yitch.
Yeah, watch me finesse, walk to the line, good versus evil, God in his prime, always in prime, always on time, our time to shine, wifey is fine.
Now is the time. Drop the comments, drop the likes, hit the share button. Let's get ready for isolation exercises, isolation training, focusing. Gonna focus today. What? Huh? What? Oh, what a perfect day. What a beautiful day for some fucking gains. What a beautiful day for some rage. What a beautiful day for the Daily Swole. Every day. Every day is a beautiful day. That's right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Gotcha. Uh-huh. Yeah. Papa Swolio. Yeah. Episode 855 coming at you. 3, 2, 1. Booyah.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Right on. Test. Testing. Is this mic working? Test. Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 855 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, slaycast, and taintcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex. Our biceps yoked like it ain't no joke. Getting sleazy on a Saturday. Today's episode is brought to you by these sick fucking gains. Everest and K2 flexing on you. Isolate and maximize for 855. What's going on? Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope. The gains are out there. They're out there. They're everywhere. We're on the podcast. Those of you listening to Spotify, Apple Podcast, getting your audio gains on, willkommen, hello. So you can catch the video on Twitch, twitch.tv/Swolenormous. You can watch the replay. It's vertical. You get phone audio, but you can check it out on Instagram. Facebook gets the mic audio. YouTube gets the mic audio. So we got audio, and it sounds so sexy. If you watch on Instagram, you miss the sexiness of the mic audio. You miss this. You miss me making love to it. You miss what it sounds like when I make love to the mic. Making love. Sick gains. Swole gang. What up, Michelle? My belle. David, I had an awesome arm day, sore as shit. That's the best way to do it. What liquor best suits your macros? Ha, good one. What liquor best suits your macros? No liquor. Unless you're licking her. Good. God, I'm good. Comebacks for fucking days. Let's jump right into the Swolecast today. Let's jump right into how am I looking? How am I looking? How do I feel? Let's jump right into the Swolecast today, episode 855, Isolate and Maximize. Today's episode is about training and isolating muscle groups, doing more of a splitting up your body parts instead of going. How many of you do total body workouts? How many of you, I mean, if you're a CrossFitter, you fucking do total body every day, but how many of you do total body workouts? You go to the gym and you do a little bit of everything. You go to the gym, you do a little bit of everything. That is a great way as a beginner. It's a great way to train as a beginner. Now, of course, it depends on your goal. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. It depends on a few things, namely your experience. And in Swolenormous X in the 90-day dash, I declare it as the EVT principle, which is experience, volume, and time. You're only going to get so much out of a total body workout. You're only going to get so much out of a workout that spreads the volume and the intensity over the entire body. It's not a bad thing. It has its application, but if you're trying to, for example, build muscle mass and maximize your muscle mass, there's a reason why bodybuilders choose more of a larger split where they do chest and triceps, chest and biceps, chest and back, chest by itself, where you split the body parts over more days. The reason why you split the body parts up over more days, you train more frequently, you're exposing your body towards overload more, and you're also giving yourself more time per workout to focus more volume on more specific areas. That is the main reason. That's the main reason why you would break up a workout program into more specific body parts, into more segmented types of training. Now, you're going to hear online a lot of people saying you should never segment your body parts. It's not normal. It's not functional for the human body to only work certain muscle groups, because when you're doing anything in life, in real life, you're doing integrated movement. You're using your upper and lower body together synergistically. Yes, that's true. Rarely do you just only do something that works your chest in the real world. But however, when you're training means what stress you're applying to your body in order to maximize that body part's potential. So if you're doing integrated movements during the day, you're always doing movements that use multiple body parts, and then you go to the gym and you train exercise that work multiple body parts, okay. However, you're never taking it to that next level where you're giving focused, concentrated stress. Like, when in real life do you go to the closet door and the closet door weighs 100 pounds and you do rep 1, 2, 3, 4, and you open and close the door 15, 20 times for a set, and then you repeat with the right arm? Like, you never do that in real life. So you can look at this as, okay, you don't do this in real life. You don't do that kind of concentrated exercise in real life. You shouldn't do that in terms of your training, because if you're training for real life. I think if you're training for real life, you should maximize the muscle's potential and also integrate. And that's why I am a follower or practitioner and supporter. I promote yoga and that type of integrated movement along with strength training. When you're doing isolation, when you're focusing and segmenting body parts, and this is not to say you have to only segment. This is not to say that you only have to choose total body workouts, but you should make it more integrated. This can be a component of your programming where you are doing segmented training for several weeks, and then you go through a period of deloading, essentially working more integrated movements and doing more total body push-pull type things, upper, lower, for a deloading period where you're integrating movements, but you're decreasing the volume and the stress over the muscle groups. And that's a couple different styles of training. You won't see you can say that bodybuilders take steroids and stuff, and most of them do. That's just the truth, right? Especially the ones that compete. And, steroids don't give you results. Any pro bodybuilder will tell you that the steroids, of course, they help you recover faster and you can be stronger and you'll build more muscle, but it's mostly the recovery time between sets. So you get more work done in a shorter period of time. Your body recovers faster so you can grow more in a shorter period of time. That's what anabolics do. When you come off the steroids, you lose the benefits that the steroids took you past your genetic potential. But steroids, regardless, a lot of people take steroids and they don't have the same results. A lot of people take anabolic steroids and they don't get the results that some of these bodybuilders do. Does that mean that some people just take more? Yeah, they do. Some people take more, but the steroids don't get the results. There's a reason why there's so many more people that take anabolic steroids than actually look good. And a lot of people at your gym probably take steroids and you don't even know it because you have you misinterpret and you give too much credit to the drugs as opposed to the training principles and the consistency and the nutrition. It doesn't matter if you take steroids or not. You're not going to get an amazing physique unless you're doing all the foundational principles properly. If you're not resting, you're not going to build a lot of muscle. If you're not eating properly, steroids or not, you're not going to build a lot of muscle. If you're not training properly, steroids or not, you're not going to build a lot of muscle. So you have to do everything. You still need all the normal sleep, hydration, training, food. You need all that, even probably more of it and more focus on it if you want to get maximal results. So these pro bodybuilders, yeah, they're getting amazing results from their anabolics because they're doing all the other stuff consistently and properly. So that being said, the reason why they're getting results, the reason why they're building muscle, the reason why I've developed my muscle mass is not because I've done total body workouts. That's why most of the people that you see, physiques and aesthetics and things you aspire to, they don't do total body workouts. They don't do, I should say full, but they don't distribute their volume and their focus and their attention on so many different muscle groups in a single day. I have, for example, gone to the gym and done days where it's just mostly deadlifts. I have days where I do more total body, or I do a specific exercise, or I have a specific targeting for my body rather than just, okay, I'm doing legs today, or I'm doing back, or I'm doing chest. And sometimes I'll do chest and back rather than just chest by itself. And I go through different phases, but it's important to give your body different stress. It's important to focus and increase the volume and increase the specificity. And then it's also important to give your body that deloading period and that integration period. If you want to maximize muscle growth, you're not going to get it by just doing generalized movements. You're not going to maximize growth if you're not maximizing the stress on the muscles. That is very commonsensical, if that's the right phrase. That's a lot of common sense. However, most people don't see that. They just train larger macro movements harder. And yeah, you can build some overall size. You'll get stronger, but a lot of times you get that blocky look. You don't get the aesthetic look. You don't get the same type of bodybuilding shape that you might aspire to as your goal. So it has to come down to, what do you want? Do you want to increase your strength? Do you want to look a certain way? Do you want a combination of both? And not everyone's going to have exactly what they want as an outcome. But a lot of people are training for strength that really should be training for hypertrophy in terms of what their goal is. A lot of people are training for strength when they really want aesthetics. And you can correlate strength with muscle size. Of course, if you get stronger, you're going to build muscle size, but you can also get stronger without building a ton of muscle. It has to do with your nutrition. It has to do with the volume. It has to do with the overload on specific areas. If you're just doing some basic movements like squat, bench, deadlift, you're going to get big, but you're not really developing the aesthetics. You're not developing the shape. So my personal approach to fitness, I love the bodybuilding approach. I think aesthetics are awesome. I think it's an amazing artistic form that is lost on people because everyone's thinking, okay, it's abs, about vanity. It's like self-sculptor. You're being creative when you're in the gym. You're being creative with the body. You're literally creating a sculpture with human living tissue. And that's what is powerful about having a physique and having muscle mass and having health, is you can't buy it. You have to earn it with effort and putting your life goals and your priorities around being healthy. So when you walk down the street or you look in the mirror yourself, you see the product of your efforts. You see the care and the respect that you have for your body. And it's a very honorable, I think, approach to your life. I mean, you're honoring your body, you're taking care of your body, you're maximizing your strength, your capacity, your ability. Yoga is important, meditation's important. All these different styles of training can be important. Of course, you can have things that you enjoy too. So you mix in what you enjoy too, but make sure that your goals and what you want to accomplish is reflected by the training programs that you do. Like if you're doing general movements, you're not going to be carving a lot of shape. You're just building kind of like systemic strength, which is fine and functional. But if by doing deadlifts, you're not building aesthetics per se. It's kind of like overall work capacity and mass and just, and just strength. that kind of shit's going to help with barbell rows, with isolation exercises. It's going to help, right? Doing those heavy basic movements is important, but isolating gives you that focus and that overload capacity on specific muscle groups. So imagine you go to the gym. You go to the gym, you have an hour to work out. Let's say you go to the gym, you have an hour to work out. If you went for that hour and you went to lift and you wanted to do some sets for the entire body, so you did some general things, or you did 1 or 2 sets per body part, right? You did a couple sets for shoulders, a couple sets for chest, for back, for arms, for legs, for calves, whatever. That hour is spread out. It's kind of like pouring a glass of water over a big table. Okay? So you're getting stress on the muscles, but you're setting the ceiling pretty low. Does that make sense? You're setting the ceiling low for how much you can do, how much volume, how much work you can do on each body part, because you have an hour and you're doing everything. If you split that up more, let's say you did chest and back, or let's just go the other extreme. Let's say, today's Saturday, let's say you're doing chest, okay? Only chest. You have that same hour. You warm up, you cool down, all your stuff, everything else being the same. You go to the gym, you're training your chest. Yes, you're doing one body part, one region. Yes, that's not necessarily normal in everyday life. However, that hour is overloading that one area. Now you have a lot more time to do more than 2 sets for chest, right? The ceiling was low when you did total body. Now the ceiling might be the same height, the same hour. However, you can do so many more sets. So instead of doing 2 sets for every body part, theoretically, you could do 20 sets for chest. Think of the difference. That's 10 times the overload that you could do if we just use those numbers. 2 sets on a total body workout day, same time frame, same hour. If you did that by itself, let's just make up a number. Let's just say you could do 20 sets. Let's say you did 20 sets total for the whole body the first day. If you do just chest, you could do 20 sets just for chest. Now, if I'm not telling you to go do this literally, if you've never done an isolated workout like that and you've always been doing total body, don't go out there tomorrow and do 20 sets for chest. You got to progress. That's why it's called progression. You don't just jump into these high volume workouts, but that's what professional bodybuilders do. That's what I've done my entire career in terms of building muscle. You isolate. And I'm a big fan of that because it maximizes hypertrophy. It maximizes the stimulation because you are focusing your attention on less things. I appreciate that approach because I'm always discussing simplicity. I'm not saying it's easy, but focusing on less things. We've done episodes talking about doing a workout with one exercise and maximizing that. Your variety you don't need as much variety in your training as you think. Very subtle changes make a huge difference. And one of the most fundamental changes that you can make to increase your ability to build muscle is by segmenting your training more, is by giving your body or giving yourself the opportunity to overload those specific muscles more. That's why bodybuilders you don't see bodybuilders going to the gym and doing total body workouts. Maybe if they're in a deloading period, maybe if they're doing some kind of recovery, maybe if they're doing some kind of like slow ramp up to a competition, but focusing and segmenting will allow you to build more muscle. Any professional bodybuilding program, you will see people that are doing more segmented training. Sometimes these guys go to the gym twice a day. I'm not talking about every single combination and possibility right here in this episode, just the concept of segmenting, the concept of breaking up your training more. It's very important to integrate. It's very important to have your body understand how to work synergistically. But you'll get that from things like deadlifts. You'll get that from, let's say, squat to press if you want to do some stuff like that. If you want to do those deloading weeks, that's great. Every maybe 3, 6, 9 weeks of training, of hardcore training, you can have a week where it's active rest. You do more restorative yoga. You do a couple total body workouts where you decrease the load and you focus more on stabilization, rotation, proprioception, right? Multiplanar movements. You do more slower or time under tension, right? You drop the overload so you give your body a chance to kind of neurologically recover, and then you come back towards a more progressive resistance training program and overload again. So you give your body a little bit of active rest, and then you come back and you crush it again. That's where I stand in terms of what I like to do for my training and what I recommend for you to try if if you're getting stuck building muscle. You're not going to maximize your muscle growth by doing general movements. You're not going to maximize your muscle growth by doing total body workouts or just push pull. You're going to need to progress it. You're going to need to focus more. You're going to need to overload more. You're going to need to do more for each body part if you want to create that stimulation. Remember, in the gym, you're breaking shit down. In the gym, you're breaking shit up. In the gym, you're destroying shit. Destroying shit. You're breaking down your muscle fibers. You're recovering afterwards. You need to get in the gym, focus more of your efforts on less body parts, and crush that, break it down more. That way, that stimulus, that stress is going to demand your body repair stronger, repair bigger, right? Those types of variables, that type of focused attention, that type of volume, that type of work capacity focused on a more specific muscle group or muscle targeting system and split is going to create that kind of stress your body needs to adapt to, which will lead to more muscle growth. This is from science, this is from personal experience, and it's also from common sense. If you focus more on any one thing, you're going to do better at that one thing. If you focus your skills, your attention, your creativity on one thing rather than 3, 4, 5, or 6, you're going to get more done. You're going to be more effective at that one thing. It just makes sense. It doesn't mean don't do both. It doesn't mean don't do any kind of integrated movements. It doesn't mean to not do any kind of integrated movement. It just means you're programming that appropriately. You're not just doing it all the time. You're using that as a strategy to deload from the stress of isolating more. You roared saying destroy big apex shit. Dude, what are you on? You're hyped up. You're amped up, Odin's Bright. You're fucking fired up. I think they should make coffee flavored mouthwash. Could I just rinse that around? Looks like Pop has been working on the neck and shoulders. No, I did a couple sets of traps like 2 days ago. I don't do upper traps that much. I don't really want. My traps aren't like, I mean, they've decreased in size more than they used to because I stayed off them a little bit. I don't do a lot of upper traps. I don't want to look like a turtle. I don't want like massive, like ridiculous looking traps. I train those sporadically, so they're probably still a little bit sore and fatigued. I only did like 3 sets. Nice good hold there. Now they feel good. Papa Swole was feeling lean. I'm feeling lean. I'm feeling good today. I'm going to, this episode is sponsored by today's workout because I've been doing chest and back for a while. I think today is going to be, I'm just going to do one. I'm going to do chest and focus all my attention on one. I really do like focusing attention on specific muscle groups because I just don't like knowing that I have to cut off a certain body part to start something else. I don't like doing chest and tries all the time. It has its time and place, but if you're doing chest, then you know you have to stop doing chest so you can start training your triceps. And I feel like, well, I don't want to stop doing chest until I'm done with chest. And maybe I want to do that for an hour and a half. Maybe I don't want to do triceps at all. So I usually either like doing supersets where I don't have to cut one thing off or like do one thing until it's done and then leave. Off topic, but you have flawless looking facial skin. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's probably the high fat diet. I get my vitamin D. I get a little sun. I don't get too much. Well, my skin is always noticeably better when I'm consuming saturated fats. When you're consuming fats, I have my olive oil, my avocado, my grass-fed beef, bone broth every day, collagen, proline, glycine, all those things are great for skin and digestion. I get my salad. Like I said, avocado. I don't really eat that much variety. I don't eat that much variety, but I get my salads and stuff, organ meats and things like that. I feel good. It definitely reflects skin quality is one of those big tells. Anyone that is that does makeup or that does skincare, that skin is a big tell for health. And you can see people that aren't healthy. They have like very, very, thin, white, just dry looking skin, just kind of like, thin. It looks thin. Skin just looks unhealthy. There are a lot of people. It's one thing to be obese. It's one thing to be physically obese. It's another thing when you notice them just have really poor skin quality. Really poor skin quality is a big tell for health. Compliments are never off topic. Or never on topic, off topic. Compliments are always on topic. I'll take a compliment. I'll take a compliment all the time. I need to make another batch of bone broth. I tried some prepackaged stuff, no good. I would never have prepackaged bone broth. Never. Never, 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 never. Ever, 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 ever. No way. I like my shit fresh or frozen. I mean frozen that I made fresh. When I make it, I usually take some out and put in the freezer. That way, when I'm making the next batch, I still get really fresh, rich broth all day, day. So today is kind of a quiet episode. It's going to be a little bit shorter because I'm going to head out to the gym. I don't have much else to say besides that. Today is going to be a little bit more chill for a Swole Saturday. The importance of this topic shouldn't be understated. A lot of you I know are going to be going and watching football or some stupid shit. And we're back to season where people just waste their fucking time watching other people do physical activity. I do not understand people who watch football, people that get obsessed with sports. I understand. I just don't. I'm absolutely not a sports fan like that in any case. I'd rather do shit myself than watch other people make money and play an arbitrary game. I see so many people they revolve their entire lives around once a week where other people follow their dreams and other people follow their passion. I don't want to watch other people do shit. Fuck that stuff. So I know this weekend's probably gonna be a little more quiet because everyone's gonna be watching that shit, and I'll rip on it if I want to. And I know a lot of you probably watch. It's fine. It's an escape. I get it. It's like watching a movie. It's like listening to a podcast. But here, if I'm going to spend time watching something or listening to something, I really want it to be educational. I want to listen to a podcast. I want to, an audio book or read. I want to make it productive. And I want to make it productive because I got shit to do. It's like I got shit to do. I don't want to watch other people doing shit. That's why I don't follow a lot of people. I don't watch a lot of other things. I really do keep my head down. I'm not aware of a lot of stuff unless I go and I start poking around the Explore tab and I look, and it's just garbage. Most of the shit's garbage, so I just don't even bother. I don't even bother looking at other people's stuff because it's just 99% shit. 99% garbage on the internet. 99.9. So whenever someone asks me like, hey, have you checked out this? Hey, have you seen this? No, unless someone sent it to me before. I don't watch other people's stuff really. Even in my roast videos, I don't really look into it that much. I don't really care. I do my research to a point, but that's why it's funny. You got to have humor. You got to have humor in life. I don't got time to scour the interwebs for no fucking reason. Live your life with purpose. Focus. Goes right back to our training principles from today. Focus, focus, focus. Focus on your shit. Focus on your goals. Focus on your specificity. It goes back to the focus with training. You focus on less muscle groups. You focus and more target your training better and more specific with your segmenting. You'll get more results. You get more growth. That's for sure. You'll get more physique, more aesthetics. You'll build that area more. You'll create more hypertrophy, more muscle growth. And then it'll help you cut. You build more muscle. Raise your resting metabolic rate, your living tissue, you're going to lose more body fat. It's going to help you lose weight more, lose fat. I made it. My web is working. Nice. Well, we're almost done here. We're almost done. Everyone's showing up late for shame. But it's cool. I get it. My notifications are off, so I only go to the rabbit hole when I want. I never want to go in that rabbit hole. Watching TV is perfect for warming up at the gym. Well, yeah, do it when you're on the treadmill or something, where you're warming up. Something has happened to my notifications, maybe. Check your settings. Everyone, you do have settings on your Facebook. You can prioritize your notifications. Make sure that you customize them and prioritize. Otherwise, Facebook will do whatever it wants. If you want your notifications on Instagram, you got to go to the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner of my profile and click on turn on notifications, and you'll get notified when I go live. You'll get notified when there's a post, when new post notifications. You'll get notified on Facebook when I go live. A lot of people are wondering where the notifications go, and Facebook takes them away. They take them away so they don't annoy you too much. So you keep on using their app. So if you're starting to see changes in your notifications, go into your notifications and specify, and then you'll see them. Very simple, very simple. A lot of people get pissed off with Facebook and Instagram and notifications. I don't get notifications. It's because they give you all the options to do it. They give you the options to create how much privacy you want, who specifically can see your stuff, who can't see your stuff. You can customize everything. So take responsibility and make sure you check that. Don't blame Facebook for not getting notifications. You can customize it. You can customize it. Of course, if they fuck up and still don't show you, then it's on them. But usually it's our fault for not adjusting the notifications. So check that out. Check that out. Okay. Let's see. You need to keep resetting them. Interesting. So keep an eye on that, I guess. Who knows? They have so many. It's such a huge app, and it's so many people working on there. So many people's hands in the cookie jar. It's hard to know what they're testing and what they're not testing. So if it does keep resetting, then keep checking that. Keep checking that shit. All right, time to go crush some weights. If you have not yet got your pump on, go get your pump on. Papa Swole is going to go get the pump on. Going to go get the pump. And we're going to do another personal audio trainer for Swolenormous X. So I got a bunch of those coming. Those of you that are in Swolenormous X, there will be probably a live broadcast either today or tomorrow for the Q&A, for the live Q&A for members in the private Facebook group. And also new updates are coming soon. I've been working around the clock for the most part on the new setup and the new programs, the new releases for Swolenormous X. So super excited about that. Super stoked about that. Redoing so much stuff. The whole strategy is going to be fucking fire. And I'll be making some announcements publicly and privately about that. Remember, I am making a huge, just you wait, I'm making a huge push for the next 3 months. Guys and gals, we're coming up on it. So October, November, December. That's 90 days. I'm making a huge push. I know a lot of people are going to be waiting for the New Year's when it comes to fitness. I'm making a huge push with Swolenormous X, with promoting the programs and the whole new look. It's going to be fire. And I'm making a huge push. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun for the October through December. We're going to have some challenges. We're going to have some, not really challenges, but we're going to set some aggressive goals as a community. So it's going to be fire. I want everyone working hard for the holidays. We're going hard this year. Don't wait till after the holidays. We're going to go hard before it even fucking happens. We're going to be crushing it. January 1st, everyone's starting. We're going to be just mid-stride, continuing to crush it. I'm turning shit up. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be awesome. Kirsty, yay, can't wait to see the changes. Yes, they are coming. I just want to have something to offer. The changes are already there, just working on some of the structural things and, reorganizing some stuff. But it's going to be awesome. I'm really, it's everything that I was discussing inside the private group the other day with the program Vault and the audio training and stuff. Yeah, everything's going exactly the way I hoped. And those of you that love the new changes in the 90-day dash, how it's like, it's literally step by step. Every day is wrapped up. Every day is organized. Yeah. So that's going to be it's going to be very similar. There's going to be a lot more master classes. There's going to be a lot more of those instructionals on how to use it. So it's going to be very, very straightforward. It's going to be very explanatory. And of course, you have the live chat and the private group and everything if there's any questions, but it's going to be similar to the 90-day dash where it's very plug and play. It's really going to help everyone customize, increase the ability of you to customize the programs using the content. So super stoked. I'm really excited. I've been going to sleep a little bit later last couple of nights, which I'm not super happy about, but there's something that happens to me. There's something that happens to me when I go to sleep late, or when I'm up late. Something that happens in those wee hours of the morning when you're tired. I get a little bit, I don't want to say delirious, but it just kind of becomes that, all right, I want to go to sleep. And then right before I go to bed, I have that idea. And it really happens late at night for me. It'll happen before I go to sleep. It'll happen when I'm shutting things down. It'll happen when I'm lying in bed, going to sleep. It'll happen when I'm in the shower. It happens when you kind of relax. That's why meditation helps a lot. Just to close this episode out, this kind of popped into my head. That's where meditation helps a lot, because and I know a lot of people have ideas in the shower. We're like, right now you can comment, where do you get your best ideas? Where do you have most of your best ideas? Some of you might have it when you're driving, but it usually happens when you have that kind of lulled, where your brain can just do something else, right? Your body is busy doing something habitual. You're in the shower, you're driving. So your habits are so ingrained, you don't really have to think too hard about driving. You pay attention, but you know what I mean? Like, your foot in the gas and the brake and the turning of the wheel. It's just very second nature after a while. Same thing with walking, running, being in the shower, washing your body. You do it pretty much every single day, probably. So, that becomes a habit. When you're walking the dog, when you're lying in bed, when you're brushing your teeth, you'll have a great idea. So I usually have that, but I have that later on at night. Sometimes. I'm thinking all night and I'm developing it. I'm not really hitting a roadblock, but I'm just kind of, something's just not right. I haven't just quite figured it out. I have not quite figured it out yet. And then right when I'm relaxed, about to go to sleep, maybe it's like 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Usually it's a lot earlier, but sometimes when I've pulled those all-nighters and I go to sleep at 6 or 7 o'clock, I'll have that amazing breakthrough. Holy shit, that's it. And it all makes sense. And then I'll go to sleep. I try to write it down, of course. I write everything down, of course, so I don't lose it. But it's usually kind of like at the apex or the culmination, the end of the evening, where I'll have that, oh, it all makes sense. So I don't know. I translate that over to whatever you're doing. Don't overthink it. Step back, give yourself some time. But the meditation helps clear out those things and kind of gives you that distraction and that relaxation, where it allows more ideas, or the better ideas, to sift through. So if you have 10,000 ideas, it just kind of decreases the noise from those ideas, so the better ones come to the surface more. And it really helps. I've never meditated. Is there a certain flow like yoga? There's many different styles. There's just like yoga, there's many different styles to meditation. It just decreases the noise. It just decreases the noise and the amount of distraction. Think of how many thoughts, well, you can't really comprehend it, but you have thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts a day. Tens of thousands of thoughts a day, even that you don't even realize. Every single thing that goes through your brain is a thought, and you just have them constantly. And you have things that you're worried about. You have things that you're thinking about, things on your schedule, things that you have to do, things that you need to get done, responsibilities you have to take care of, things on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, bills you have to pay. We're all in the same boat, and it can get overwhelming. You might not be able to pay all your bills. You might not be able to, go on a vacation or make this purchase because, and little things that will eat away and stress you out, but they're always there. You're always going to have bills, right? I mean, if you want to have electricity, you're always going to have a bill. If you pay rent or a house, or you're always going to have some kind of a bill. You need to pay for your existence. You work, you be a productive member of society, and then you get money as the exchange, and you can purchase things like food and electricity and stuff, right? So you're always going to have that. And can you imagine if you treat that like a stress all the time? I mean, you're going to have stress all the time because you always have the bill? You always have to pay for electricity, so you're going to let that stress you out? Just think all the time. It's never going to go away. So you're always stressed? No, you have to learn to manage things. You have to learn to take it for what it is. You have to learn to, compartmentalize it and sift through the things that are really important to worry about, or that are really important to focus on. Because if you have all those things that are constants, always bothering you and always in your face, you don't need that in your face all the time. You have to pay that once a month. Why should it be bothering you and hovering in this fucking cloud 24 hours a day, every day? It's bringing you down, and it's blocking the time that important thoughts and important ideas can come through. And then it zaps your ability to focus on one thing. It gets you stressed out, and then you need to escape, and then you need to go watch football all day, or go drink and, go watch a movie so you can forget about it. It's like, no. You need to be productive. You need to get some of that shit done, but you need to sift through the crap that doesn't have to be fucking done right now. Most shit isn't that important. Most shit is not that important, and most things don't have to be done right now. Most things aren't that important. That's a little breakthrough that you have to have on your own, that you have to come to realization. You can't just hear that and say, oh yeah, you're right. Now, once you really realize how unimportant most things are, things don't really bother you that much. I have recently introduced my football player hubby to some yoga, and he's actually realizing the benefits. Of course he is. Yoga's amazing. I need to start meditating. You do. If you have not started meditating, you can check out, there are great apps out there too. I've mentioned it before on this show. The Headspace app is a great app. They wouldn't offer me like a coupon code to offer my people. They wouldn't offer me the ability to promote their shit. So you're going to have to go pay full price or whatever they're offering. But so sorry, but I can recommend it because I liked it. But there's other ones out there too. Whatever you start with, you have to find what works best for you. Some of you might love that. Some of you might not, but there's other ones out there. As long as you start doing something to be more aware, as long as you do something to start improving or increasing your awareness, it'll help you a lot. It's like anything else. You have to find what you like the best. A lot of you like this podcast because I'll say shit that no one else will. I won't be pushing supplements down your throat, blah, blah, blah. But you'll listen to this, you'll listen to other podcasts, you listen to X, Y, and Z. You just have your preference. So some of you are going to have your preference with certain instructors, certain voices, things like that. Everyone here is drinking beer. IPAs are good. Gross. Sounds kind of gross. Most of them taste like ass. IPAs are gross. I'm going to be starting the gym soon for my inspiration from you. Good. Glad to hear it. I get my ideas in the shower, water flow, and relaxed body. Agreed. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about the beer, but it's definitely not going to help you make sick fucking gains. I'll tell you that. What? I'll tell you that much. But yes, get into the meditation game. Get into the mental game. It'll help you focus. It'll help you focus on your training. It'll help you focus on the things you need to do during your day. It'll just help you get more shit done and be more efficient. So I'll leave you with that, and I'm going to get my fucking pump on. So thank you, everyone, for joining me for episode 855 of the most muscular fuckcast podcast, Swolecast, Jackcast, Mancast, and Sleazecast in Zarel. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 856 of the Daily Sleaze, the Daily Swole. Remember, you can catch it live every day. And also make sure you subscribe to the podcast, swolenormousx.com. And you click on podcast. You click on podcast and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts on. I'll see you tomorrow for 856. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose. Papa Swolio. Out.